welcome to another episode of Dos Naps Nikos. This is episode number 80.
What? Welcome to a nut episode.
I couldn't help it. I really wanted to do the other intro. This week we cover Wrath of Man, but before we get into it, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm
And I forgot my line, even though we've been sitting here for half an hour just babbling about nothing.
Fine.
Okay. So before we start talking about the movie of the week this week, Wrath of Man, Ben, did you see anything interesting this week?
I got to rewatch The Nice Guys, which was kind of nice, you know.
It's nice.
It's pretty nice.
This is Nice Guys.
Nice.
Is that the one with Russell Crowe and Gosling?
Yeah. It was, haven't seen it in a while, and it was pretty refreshing to see, after a very long slew of Ryan Gosling just acting very suave and much better than everyone else. Him running around acting like a little bitch.
I mean, it's, he kind of, it's Ryan Gosling, man. He can do that.
I know. He's got that range. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. And I also got to see, for the first time, the Boondock Saints.
Darren would be very pleased.
Well,
would he be pleased that it took him this long to watch that movie?
Well, no. But I also wasn't pleased that it took him that long to watch Ace Ventura.
Yeah. I finally get all those jokes, by the way.
Eventually, I guess better late than never. Mm-hmm. But still, like, how?
Well, I got to watch it, and I could see why everyone really likes that movie. And I could also see why all the critics really hate that movie. I was in the first camp, so I did really enjoy it, and it's also really weird seeing Norman Reedus just baby-faced, he's just like, Holy fuck, Norman Reedus, are you like 15? What are you?
I always felt like he always looked the same. But
really? I don't know. I feel like he's more like a very...
a little weenie. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe my memory of him isn't, in that movie isn't all that fresh.
Yeah, I don't know. The last thing I remember seeing him in, besides Boondock Saints, was Death Stranding. So compare that against this, I'm just like...
he wasn't really in it.
I mean...
He was animated into it.
Yeah, and he was animated into it, Stuart.
You telling me Norman Reedus actually trekked over all those mountaintops in real life?
Why did you think he picked someone so fit? And why do they think you picked him for Walking Dead? They gotta pick someone with a lot of stamina.
Someone who's done a lot of walking.
Yeah, it's in the name.
I don't think you've seen Walking Dead. If that's what you think it's about.
I've seen it. I could tell you what happens in the final act of this final season.
You can tell. You've already done that before.
Well, let me reiterate it. So what happened?
Stu, do you have any desire to finish Walking Dead now at this point?
Yeah, but it's just I actually was before Ben spoiled it. I was thinking I should hurry up and finish this.
Yeah, you should.
And then Ben just went ahead and did it for me. So
we have to have a statute of limitations on spoilers. we really do. Like, what was it? A month? A year? 5 years? 10 years?
I think it's just whenever we feel like it.
Just whenever we feel like it. All right.
Well, except for when Ben does it, then we get to just hold that over him
It's never the right
forever.
time when Ben does it.
Guys, can I talk about Star Wars now?
Episode 1?
Any of them. What about you, Stu? See anything fun besides our movie of the week?
I did. Indeed, I did have seen movie.
Seen it
in past week. Okay. Actually, it was a series of movies, and this is kind of like another movie where it's like, Ben, I'm pretty sure you said you hadn't seen these before, but I kind of watched the entire Lethal Weapon series of movies. So that was fun.
You're wrong, Stu. I did watch Lethal Weapon.
No, you did not. Lethal Weapon 5 or 6 does not count from Always Sunny. That does not count. I know what you're gonna say. I knew you're gonna say that. All right.
Well, you should have led up with it if you knew so much about it, Stu.
But having said that, and knowing that Ben has not actually seen the actual movies, I would definitely recommend it because there's a lot. I think Always Sunny gives it a little bit of a misrepresents it a little bit. It's kind of like over the top, kind of what do you call it? Parodying, or it's a little over the top of what the movies really are like. There's actually a lot of I feel like I would say like a lot of heart in those movies. There's a lot of because it's a movie series that spans about 15 years, I would say. And throughout from Lethal Weapon 1 to 4, you get to kind of not only follow the two main characters, but you kind of see the other auxiliary characters kind of grow up and kind of, like for example, Murtaugh's kids. You see him in the first Lethal Weapon, and it's the same actors, I'm pretty sure, throughout the entire series. So that's pretty neat. So it's just like it's like you can kind of watch them and see how everyone's kind of growing. But so there's over the top action, and then there's a lot of laughs and some serious moments, some heartfelt moments. But it's a good time all around. So I definitely recommend you watch those.
Where did you peruse these at? On HBO Max, Netflix.
I think on just Amazon Prime.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
But like, I don't know if they're on there. I think we just had them in our library.
Oh,
so
the buddy cop movie, like buddy cop genre, was the like what comic book movies were to like the early 2000s.
Yeah, this was like definitely the buddy cop movie, like especially like in the Lethal Weapon 4 was kind of it was like the buddy cop. It was like the Rush Hour. What do you call it? Craze, where there's like buddy cop and one of them, and there's like martial arts involved because it was Jet Li. So like
they're mismatched. They're two unlikely partners who never should have been partners in the first place.
And then also there's karate or kung fu or whatever.
Wait, was Beverly Hills Cop also the same time?
No, that was in the 80s,
90s?
I think exclusively. Although I think maybe Beverly Hills Cop 3 was in like the early 90s, but that was probably the worst of the the weakest of the Beverly Hills Cops.
So good. All right. For me, I rewatched Happy Gilmore for some reason. I don't know why. Just
you don't need a reason.
It was so good. That movie holds up incredibly well. That's always fun.
Wait, what do you rate higher, Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison?
Oof.
Oh yeah, see, it's difficult, right?
This is where we talk about the hard hitting questions.
Welcome to our final episode.
They never got back together again. Oh, man. In terms of like quotability for me, but just because of the fact that I just saw Happy Gilmore recently, I would say Happy Gilmore. But I'm sure if I watched Billy Madison, I'd probably feel that way too.
I think you have an unfair bias here because you're like golf.
I do. Yeah. He's an unlikely golfer. He's not even a golfer.
David,
he's a
you know what?
player.
You know what I'm betting, Ben?
What?
You know what I'm betting about why David's enjoyment from watching...
Tell me. I'm listening.
What is that?
I'm betting that like he wasn't laughing at like the stupid, like immature Adam Sandler jokes throughout the movie. He was probably laughing at the fact that this is so silly. Look at him using a hockey stick playing golf. That's so funny.
Wrong. I thought you were about to nail it on the head, Stu. It's all the inconsistencies with the rules of golf.
I'm pretty sure I got
all the things that they ignored. No. They ignored all the rules of golf. You can't do that.
How ridiculous using a hockey stick while playing golf.
They don't even have a caddy.
You can't punch Bob Barker in the face. That's not normal. No, I think we've all been guilty. After that movie released, we all tried doing the Happy Gilmore, and it's also because this year was their 25th anniversary. It's been a long time. He released he posted something on Twitter challenging. I forgot the name of the guy who plays Shooter McGavin. His name is escaping me right now. But yeah, and they did something like back and forth. It was actually pretty cool. But yeah, so Anything else, guys, before we jump over to the box office rundown for this week?
Not really movie related, but
okay.
What?
Stu, you have my attention.
Did you want? Oh, you wanted me to expand on that.
Yeah.
Did you get Village? Is that?
I did get. I've been playing Village.
Thoughts?
Is it good so far?
So far, I would say it's like Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4 put together.
Ooh, okay, that's a good thing. I heard a lot of people were kind of split on that.
I could see why, although I'm not. I still feel like I have a lot of game to go. So,
how far
I'm reserving
in are
judgment.
you, Stu?
Oh well, I feel like if I said where I'm at, it'd be a spoiler. So
no, I'm saying like time wise.
Oh, time. Well, shoot. Let's open up Steam and find out.
72 hours. Stu, the game's only 22 hours.
Yeah, you just playing Mercenaries the whole time.
Yeah, about 6 hours.
Okay, well, you have a while to go.
I did try it on my past stream, and I couldn't do it.
I was nauseous. It made me nauseous.
And you know what?
A lot of movement.
There was actually a lot of articles about the motion sickness on this.
Written by Ben Somali?
Yes. Please check me out on the following websites.
My reviews on Metacritic.
No, but I do want to try it again because a lot of those articles did kind of touch on like what kind of settings to use to mitigate the
take Dramamine.
nausea.
Were you just doing quick turns the whole time? Is that why you got?
Yeah, I was just doing the.
Is this how I navigate?
Where is everything? I don't get it. I'm moving the mouse as fast as I can, but I can't find anything.
Oh God, I'm sick now.
There is something in those kind of games. I don't know what it is, but it has something to do with motion blur and the wobbling. I guess they add like a very small amount of wobbling to it. So,
like the camera shake.
Yeah, like when you're walking or something, or if you do an action, the camera will wobble like just constantly. And I don't know. I just can't handle that. So,
I just can't.
I can't. I
literally even.
Can't.
It's tough.
No,
he
David, don't.
Ben lives a tough life. He is not allowed to eat chocolate. He can't eat shrimp chips, and then he also can't play Resident Evil 7.
I think I have the most difficult life out of everyone, out of anyone in modern history.
And I feel like most of that is your own fault.
No one's been more oppressed than me. No one.
They should write a book about
no
Ben.
one. I will.
He did write a book about how he can't handle motion sickness. I can't do first-person games.
I can't. Unless I think it's really cool and I'll just power through it and I won't bitch, but
I'll play it 30 second increments at a time.
I'll just get my vom bucket ready and then
welcome to the vomit tub street.
Vomit tub. Where I just vomit in a tub and sit in it.
No, a hot vomit tub where I vomit into a hot tub.
Guys, don't worry, bikini change coming up. Here we go. If you guys donate 10 subs, then I'll write your name where there wasn't vomit already.
Seems like the ratio from vomit to water is decidedly one way.
There was no water. What are you talking about?
The ratio is 1-0.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I've seen some stuff from it, and I guess being 6 hours in, I do have a question for you. Do you feel like this is less scary than 7?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because apparently they dialed it back like way.
One thing I will say, which I don't feel is a spoiler because it's a pretty common meme with Resident Evil 8, was the big lady.
Mm-hmm.
And like she has like those 3 daughters. I was talking about this last weekend, but it's pretty hard to be scared when you have this very thick, voluptuous lady chasing at. It's like it's hard to
want to get caught.
Yeah, you want to get caught. Like, or you like maybe even like seek her out. Like, where is she? Like, so it's hard. I feel like it's hard to be scared.
Harder, mommy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, after you're finished with the games too, I do have some questions for you about like the monster designs and stuff like that. And what you think?
I think someone we know was talking to me about this and saying that the creator, I don't know, the character designer or the creator of the game was like, I didn't think people would react this way to the big lady. I was like,
Wow.
dude, how naive are you?
Have you never been on the internet?
Exactly.
Did you not see this exact thing happening as you release pictures of certain Is there a reason why you put her front and center before the game was even released? Come on. Don't be an
Come
idiot.
on, guy.
Come on. You knew what you
Well,
were
maybe
doing. Something got lost in translation because he's Japanese.
Actually, I would wager that's like a universal language for Japanese people. Have you seen their animated shows?
No, I haven't, but you can ask
they're-
somebody who is an expert, Ben.
I don't know anyone. I mean, I could try.
And they would just insert a slide of Ben in the Ben a la Garth in the Range Rover. He just has a bunch of anime gear on.
And that's just sad.
I don't know anyone who watches anime, and
And then
sad.
he's holding a Himiko pillow.
What?
Yeah. Kamiko-chan?
Kimiko, sorry.
Kimiko-chan.
Kimiko-chan.
See, that's the only anime I really follow.
Follow around in a pillow fashion. Okay. All right. Box office rundown. Number 1 this week, as no surprise, is Wrath of Man with 8.3 million.
Woo.
Number 2, thanks to Ben yet again, Demon Slayer Mugen Train holds the number 2 spot. Number 3, Mortal Kombat. Number 4, Godzilla vs. Hong Kong. Number 5, Raya and the Last Dragon. Number 6, Separation. Number 7, Here Today. Number 8, down from number 6, is Nobody. Number 9, The Unholy. Number 10, Tom and Jerry. Guys, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
Are we going to get better movies out soon?
This week, I think we have something I wanted to bring up. I know that, Stu, you were interested in watching a movie that's coming out on Netflix this week, correct?
Oh, is that
14th?
the Love, Death, and Robots? Or something?
That's not a movie, though.
Yeah, it's an
TV show?
anthology.
Yeah.
You said it's a Jollibee?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's a
Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Ooh.
If that helps you.
It doesn't help me place anything. It just makes me hungry.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
never the butt of any jokes. I'm David. Ooh.
they don't sell chicken butts. They sell chicken thighs
Wow.
and drumsticks. And sorry. Stu?
No, I mean, I wouldn't really consider that a movie for us to watch,
Okay.
but I would like to talk about it.
So you remember last week when we were talking about the movies that were coming out in the coming weeks, and we're just like, "Oh, nothing's good's coming out."
Mhm.
And I said there was a Chris Rock movie that's coming out.
Oh yeah,
Spiral.
Yeah, I do.
I
wanna
am
see
now
that.
interested in watching that because
super
I
wanna
actually
see
know what
that.
it is.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's Saw related.
yeah. So if you guys are cool with that, maybe that'll be our movie of the week this week.
Oh, is that coming out this week?
That is on Friday.
Sweet. Is that a theater release or is it?
I
a
believe
stream?
so.
Yeah, it's a theater release.
Nice.
It is. That one's not on HBO Max though, right?
I don't know.
What, Spiral?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I know there's a movie that's coming out soon that's coming out
HBO
on
Max.
both. Yeah.
Uh,
Wait, Army of the Dead isn't like a movie?
It's
It's
a
not?
Netflix movie.
oh,
It is a movie.
It's a Netflix movie.
Netflix movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll probably end up watching it anyways. What is that? The Jin.
But quick note since we're on the topic of cinemas and movie theaters. I just realized when I went to go watch Wrath of Man that Regal's club monthly thing is back up and running.
Ooh.
Because I logged in, I was trying to buy a ticket online, and the only place it was available was on Regal's website. So I logged in, and it was like, "Oh, okay, here's your ticket, 50 cents." I was like, "Oh, okay."
What?
Nice.
So you know the thing, the subscribe to the what's it called, Regal?
Oh, the movie
Whatever.
pass thingy.
Yeah, you don't have it because you don't have it. You go to AMC like
No, I got rid of AMC. 'cause-
well, you had an AMC whatever thing.
Can I
but-
join Regal, guys? Please.
I don't know. As long as you got to have some references, character references, background check. It's a whole thing.
All I know is in 2 weeks we're gonna hit A Quiet Place Part 2.
Yes.
Woo.
So, but yeah, think about it. Let's we'll see if that'll be the movie for this week. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the movie of the week this week, Wrath of Man. Ben?
No, I did the last two. Shut up.
No,
It's
I
not
said
me.
Ben.
Oh. I was trying to jump out in front of it.
Wait, so who's doing it? Me? Okay. This week on Undercover Boss, an innocent boy is gunned down in the street by a group of robbers with no trail to follow. But some bosses are willing to take extreme action to find those responsible. Each week we follow the boss of a major crime group as they go undercover in what appears to be a legitimate company. This week, H is turning his fancy suit in for a security uniform. He'll assume a new identity, pose as a new recruit, and by working the front lines, he'll find out what's really going on inside this company. He'll find the good, he'll find the bad, and he will find that dirty rat bastard that did Dougie dirty. How will he find that ass hat fuck react when he finds out that Dougie's the father, or that he's Dougie's father? Find out this week on Undercover Boss.
I don't know what the theme is.
I was like, wait a minute, isn't that the Law and Order theme? Dun, dun,
mean-
dun, 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 dun,
I
dun.
mean, this could also be a Law and Order thing. Who knows? So many angles to this.
So, thoughts on this one, Stu?
This one was kind of weird. So first off, let me take a step back. Guy Ritchie, what has he done?
The gentleman.
The gentleman
What
that we
else?
also reviewed, the one with
Is that
Hugh
it?
Grant
Snatch.
and Snatch.
You didn't do like
Was it Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? Or is that
That's him. Yep, and that was the original movie that got him and Jason Statham together.
I see. Okay. So, all right. At first, I was wondering in this movie if he was the guy who did Memento, but then, okay, so I wasn't sure. But anyways, this was kind of a weird movie for me because it started off, I feel, really awkward. Like not even in like the storytelling or anything like that, but in the acting, I got really weird acting vibes from like the first 30 minutes of the movie. Where it was introducing us to some of like the the side characters and stuff. It just feel like really weird. I just felt weird. But then once you kind of start figuring out what's going on as far as story goes, it's like, oh, okay, I see. Okay, this happens, and going back here, this and that and the other. But I mean, it was okay. It was an okay movie. I'm not like super thrilled with it.
Okay, so
as far what I saw in the beginning in the title credits or whatever you want to call them, this is based on a book. This story is based on like some book or something.
Well, I don't know about that title.
It was based on
that
a different
type.
movie, right?
Yeah. Also, it was a French movie called Cash.
Get shit.
No, it's called Les Convoyeurs. I don't know how I butchered the crap out of that.
It's good enough.
Sorry, Darren. I don't know how to speak French.
Well, neither does he.
No, doesn't he? It's called Cash Truck, 2004.
Cash Truck. Oh, okay.
That sounds like a
French
reality
movie.
show. This week on Cash Truck.
I thought that's what it was. I was like, how is this anything like Cash Cab? They didn't win anything.
Except the minivan, it's a pickup truck, and they're in the bed of the truck.
This week on Bang Bus.
If only we lived in that universe. But yeah, this was okay. It was like whatever. I was kind of disappointed by parts of it. I kind of like I feel like the revenge arc that it was setting up was pretty cool up until it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, I give this one like a 5.
Okay. Ben?
All right, so to preface this, I when you guys mentioned that we were watching this film, I was like, fuck me.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah, because like
Well, what would you have had us watch?
I don't know.
Okay, then shut up.
That's what I was about to say. I was like,
I want. Shut the fuck up.
Actually, to interrupt Ben really quickly, I thought that he would have really wanted to jump on this because Scott Eastwood's in this.
Fuck Scott Eastwood.
What? I thought your love for Scott Eastwood ran deep.
When have I ever said I want to suck Scott Eastwood's big throbbing dick?
You just said that right now.
Okay, besides then, and last night, and possibly a month before.
At least once before every recording, you say that.
Yeah, there's a reason why I wait 5 minutes and then I start recording.
Are you sure it was Scott? Are you sure you didn't hear Clint?
If you want to do both at the same time, Ben, that's up to you. I'm not going to audit your personal life.
Well, I don't know. Scott Eastwood hasn't really been in too much. I know that he's been in Pacific Rim. in the worst Pacific Rim, the second one
of the two.
How much more do you need?
But yeah, I don't know. When you guys said that we're watching this, I don't know. Like looking at The Gentleman, right? The previous film he did. I didn't really.
I like The Gentleman though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like compared to his other films, it felt kind of phoned in. It didn't really.
Out of the movies that have come out that are kind of in that same one, I felt like Guy Ritchie's was a little bit better than The Irishman, which I felt was a little bit.
No, I don't think you can compare the two. I don't think you can really compare those two because like The Irishman is like a Scorsese film. You know, it's like a gangster movie. It's like, you know, rags to riches kind of story. Whereas the Gentleman is kind of like a funny ensemble film where it gets a whole bunch of actors and it's just like, oh, look at them do these funny things together, kind of. You know, and it leaned heavily on the actors in the film, but when the actors actually had to move the plot along, it felt very awkward, and they were just kind of scrambling to hoist the film up. I mean, I did love Colin Farrell's piece in it, but it really, like, that kind of exacerbated the whole thing, where it felt like, you know, Colin Farrell happened to be in the area and it's like, hey, can you come in for like 5 minutes, you know, just kind of come in. And yeah, dude, his character was awesome. The coach, you know, like his character was great, but he was in like literally like 2 minutes of the film. He like kind of showed up, did his piece, and he wore the same thing every time. So I'm just feeling like those were his PJs, you know. He just got up, walked over, did his piece. He's like, all right, peace out, y'all.
I'll pick up my check as I'm walking out.
Yeah, pretty much. So it felt a little disappointing. This film, it was definitely a bit strange, like Sue said, but for a different reason. Like, I felt the theater feeling really good about the movie, actually. It was definitely a lot different than his past films. Like I said, his past films were a little more comedic in tone. I mean, it does deal with, you know, violence, a lot of gunplay. But this one was a bit more somber and serious, you know? I can't really remember there being too many comedic moments. There might have been like some smart quips here and there, but all in all, there wasn't any big, you know, comedic moments. So the
You're
whole
telling
film
me
was
that it wasn't comedic just having some of the cameos that were in there?
Yeah, there weren't any cameos in there.
What?
Well,
are
I mean,
you
besides
talking
Andy
about?
Garcia? I mean, that was the only big one. I'm like, whoa, is that Andy Garcia? That's
and the one at the very, very beginning.
Oh, you mean Post Malone?
Post Malone.
Okay.
Josh Hartnett's in this.
Okay, so that was kind of weird because Post Malone, like every ad I've seen on YouTube for this, they always just fucking zoomed in on Post Malone, and I'm like,
I thought it was a bigger deal. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, what has he got in this? And it's like, oh, he's dead.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's his brains on the floor.
Oh yeah, spoiler.
Oh.
Spoiler.
I mean, Post Malone did a fantastic knockout stand-up job.
All 45 minutes I saw him in the movie. Man, great.
Really stitch the entire movie together.
But
His
yeah, I mean,
range.
the whole film was very dark and very very aggressive. It felt very the whole ride felt very cathartic. You know, I felt very invested in Jason Statham's character and what he was going through, and it was very strange watching him because whenever you watch Statham in a movie, he's usually the guy that just doles out quips and he just won't shut the fuck up, you know? He just keeps going and going. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm Jason Statham. You know, but this one...
Say that.
Yeah, that he did. He says that in every movie. I mean, he always has...
Wait, what?
Yeah. In this film, he's very, very silent, you know? It's almost... in his first action sequence, it's almost, he was like very Terminator like, which was kind of cool. But I don't want to delve too deep into this just because, you know, spoilers or anything, but I will say that, you know, this isn't the perfect film. I know there was a lot of very awkward parts and very awkward pacing, especially the camera work. I mean, to say that the camera work was pretty cool, you know, that it was a little thought out, but it was still definitely had a lot of issues here and there. I still really did enjoy the film. So if I had to give a score to this, feeling a very light 7.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the same vein. I would have given it a 7, but I'm gonna knock it for Post Malone being in the movie. As much as they were using that as a highlight, I was just like, you know, whatever. But Holt I can't even say his last name. McCallany.
McElhenney?
Rob McElhenney?
No. The guy who was in Mindhunter.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Bullet. He did really, really good. But I felt like at some point I was kind of hoping that they would kind of do something else with the character, or he would kind of, I don't know, he just kind of kept the same thing going over and over again. I was just like, if I'd closed my eyes, I would have just thought like maybe the movie had skipped and come back to the beginning again. I was like, oh, but they're different lines, but it feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again. But outside of that, I thought that, you know, I liked the fact that they did this, like, I don't want to say time travel thing, but they did flashbacks and stuff like that. I like that. That was pretty tasteful in general. It was nice to see Jason Statham not in that, like that same mode as the transporter or, you know, Crank or any of that like stuff where he's just like literally you see more of his shoes than you do of like him, right? This is like something that was like a little bit more difficult for him. So for me, I like that. I also like the fact that Laz Alonso was in it, the guy from The Boys. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
wish he was in that a little bit more. If you guys watch Burn Notice at all, Jeffrey Donovan's in this.
I thought he looked. I was like, "Is that the Burn Notice guy?"
That is the Burn Notice.
I was like, "Man, he does not age well."
He looks like he's seen a war or two. But yeah, I thought that it was good, and then it felt like they got to a certain point, and then they felt like, okay, we have to squeeze in as much, you know, gunplay as possible, and then we're just gonna wrap the movie up. And I was like, whoa, what just happened? Okay. All right, credits, excellent. But yeah, no, I thought it was overall okay. Probably 6.5, 7-ish kind of thing. Whatever. Okay. I don't know. Like, I think like we've started hitting that point of the year where movies are starting to kind of trickle out, but it's nothing that like kind of like blows you away. So, you know, kind of the movies that we're talking about, you know, Quiet Place 2, coming out in a couple weeks, and then obviously there's another Marvel release. Black Widow's in July. We'll see James Bond at some point, like towards the end of the year. So we're starting to get to the point where we're like starting to get some movies coming out. So, you know, hopefully we'll have some bigger hitters as opposed to just kind of like taking whatever we can get, which is just anything that's new is okay.
Whatever's out this week, we're forced to watch it.
Yeah, it's like, well, because there's no other options, right? So, but yeah, guys, any other thoughts on this one? I really don't think this needs too much of a spoiler zone. I think Ben kind of summarized it pretty well. Guys, if that piqued your interest at all, go see it. If not, then go see Ben's other favorite movie, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train.
Demon Train, Soul Slayer.
No.
Demon Train, Ramen Slayer.
Nope. Not it, fam. Nope.
So let me ask you guys this. In the first intro of the movie, when they were kind of introducing Jason Statham to the other security truck guys, did any of their dialogue come off as weird to you or off?
Oh, like it was trying too hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be locker room talk.
No, but it was like, it wasn't organic. I felt like they had no chemistry on screen.
The casting director was like, wait, we have a movie we want to start shooting when? Tomorrow? Who do we have? Jason Statham.
I don't know.
That's it.
I don't think it was like, you know, anything standout, but I don't think it was terrible.
It didn't
like,
stick out to you? Like, I don't know. For some reason, it stuck out to me as like something was off.
I don't know. It didn't really. It was nothing noticeable stood out to me where I was like, damn, these people are just, you know, reading off of a cardboard behind Jason Statham.
I would have preferred them like just like over enunciating like they're reading it off a card that's far away.
Him squinting as he's trying to read it.
I am a little disappointed that in all the marketing for this, they kind of gave away that Jason Statham is, already a very skilled assassin, and that he is, or looking for someone who killed his son. And they didn't reveal that until I think halfway through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they never revealed it at all, because all we learned was that he's like the head of some kind of crime syndicate.
We were just supposed to accept the fact that was the case, but if that was the case, then why is he running a job for somebody else?
Undercover boss.
But other than like the moments where I thought were kind of off, like the other part that jumped out at me as bad, even though I feel like Josh Hartnett's usually pretty decent, but was when like they first encounter like the kidnapping thing, and
he
like
panics.
he starts like freaking out like way too much. I felt it was like way too much of it was like almost like overacting. But those were like the two specific kind of segments that was kind of hard for me to watch.
Yeah, I could see that. With all the flaws, I will say one of the standout things I really, really enjoyed, and I don't think, the rest of the film kind of detracted from this, was the soundtrack for the movie. Just that very somber, very deterministic, just main theme that goes on. It's like, it just feels very, very, man, I don't even know how to say it. It's very ominous almost. It's like, something bad is going to happen, Yeah.
I would have liked to explore the crime, the like criminal organization parts of this a little more, but like the ones
that would have been cool.
The ones that he like shook up to try to get answers.
Okay, that actually reminds me. Quick spoiler zone. So when he did go after all these crime people, right? There was a scene where he got I don't know who this guy was, but he was like, it was getting to that point where he's finally getting to the end of his route. He got this guy while he's sleeping in his bed while his wife or girlfriend was there.
Oh, and he puts the bag over his head thing.
Yeah, he puts the bag over his head, starts beating the shit out of him. That was a very brutal scene, right? Then he's like, yeah, you could do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not going to talk. He's like, fine, we'll do it to what's her face, right? They bring her out. She's all did up, right? She looks like pretty nicely dressed. She did her hair. When she was sleeping, it definitely wasn't done. I mean, they dragged his ass right the fuck out of bed. He's still in the same fucking clothes. Are you like... They just told her like, all right, Ben, come on, get dressed, let's go.
Ben, I think there's a cultural bridge you're not crossing here.
Okay.
See, in the Black community,
No, I want to hear your thesis. Continue. I want to hear this TED talk.
Normal for the female to go to bed with her hair done up nice.
David Attenborough.
Yeah, look. As we see, I can't do David Attenborough, whatever. But I mean, although I always thought there was some, there was some seed of truth in that stupid monologue I just did. I always thought there was always something with like Black women and their hair, and you're not supposed to touch it. And so that's why I'm thinking like, well, maybe her hair was done up just because that's how her hair always looks.
No, because when she was sleeping, it was completely different. So it was just like,
I don't remember.
It was kind of because it was all down, and it was different. It was weird.
I mean, it was dark in the room. I couldn't really see it.
I remember seeing it because I was like, oh.
I'll concede that she was all dressed up, though.
Yeah, she was all did up, and then they just told her to get all did up. So they're like, all right, here's the bag over your head.
I don't know. Maybe that's the deleted scenes where they like stood there and like put your clothes on
slowly.
Now dance.
Your clothes. Put them on.
And I would say this just because gun stuff in the movie. I was
How was it?
I was disappointed. It was all full auto spray bullets everywhere. Everyone's spraying bullets.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
But they didn't hit everybody. Isn't that accurate?
No.
Oh.
the ballistic armor that they said they were wearing, it would
No.
definitely not protect them from all of that gunfire, right?
Not that flimsy little plates they were wearing. No,
It looks like they're about to go out to fucking Temecula to go, take their ATVs and jump over some sand dunes.
They'd have to be wearing like 250 pounds of like metal for all that armor to actually stop bullets.
Yeah.
So that was a no-go. Also, Jason Statham's like one-handed pinpoint accuracy was like
he's a mob boss.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain it either, though.
It explains it, mob boss. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us to another episode. I don't have anything. I'm
No, you're fine. Fine. I don't.
Yeah, we'll wrap this one up. All right, so guys, movie of the week next week or this week is Spiral.
All
right,
Dragon.
Sounds good. So join us next week as we cover Spiral as our movie of the week. Hopefully we'll get some better ones coming up soon. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and follow wherever you're getting your podcasts. It's available on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google, and Apple Podcasts, as well on YouTube. Check us out on Twitch, available. We play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sometimes during the week.
Yeah. Keep your notifications on. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe, so that way we can keep doing this and then quit our jobs. Yeah, support us. So
give us money. Money me
now.
Money me a lot now.
As always, I've been your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
I'm Ben.
Don't forget to tip your Reiki masters, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from each other, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.
Bye.